welcome to another episode of Boundless. This is Citizens from Exe.Cute Gaming, and today we're going to be working on our above ground farm. One of the downsides of working on this planet is, as you can see, it snows. It snows a lot and often. So one of the tricks that I use to get around that is I hit the B button, and that brings up your boundary for plotting. And it also eliminates the weather effects, so you can actually see what you're working with. Alright, so let's get started. So over here, I plotted out the wheat and did some test running with it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up, I believe, let's take a look. Alright, so I'm going to right click to look at the tooltip. And it shows it grows in sunlight. This is why we're putting it above ground. It increases yield in tilled soil, but if you remember, it was not tilled soil I was looking at. It was actually compacted silt. So yeah, we're not doing that. This is obviously going to be my seed plotting area. So what it should do is enable me to get more seeds per harvest and ensure that I don't run out. So there's that one. And then running over here, you'll see the tilled soil mixed with the mud. Go back to... So here we have tilled soil being what it's in. And it's near mud. I tested a little bit with putting water underneath the block that I sowed in, and that absolutely does not work. It has to be beside it or right above it. And obviously you can't do it right above it because it's growing. So that was a no-go. So what I've opted to do is just surround it on the sides of what I think I want to grow in that particular location. And then, yeah, this is what I'm going to do on this end. Alright, so let's start over here and get everything plotted out. And you can kind of see I put the grass color in that I really wanted to kind of match the leaves up there. It looks more like true green and a little less burnt by the sun compared to what I used to have. So I placed the sand blocks to remove the top layer, so I knew where I wanted my post to go. And this is kind of indicator here of where I want my crop growth to be located. So I'm going to speed this up so you can see the process but not have to sit through the drudgery of me trying to fill in the dead space. So let's get to it. Well, it looks like I ran out of compact soil, so I'm gonna cut here and I'm gonna gather up materials and make some more compact, and then I will return in order to continue forward. However, looking at it, I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but the compact soil that I'm using looks kind of out of place in comparison to the mud next to it. I might look at switching out to a compact silt that looks closer to the mud, or finding mud that looks closer to the compact silt. It depends on what kind of blocks are available in the game at the current moment that are readily available. So, be back shortly. So I got some more of the compacted made, and I did end up switching to the mud color because that was what I was able to find. So let's go ahead and get this placed. As you can tell, I pulled up the original already. I used a transforming chisel, which is a chisel that has gone through the center forge and got a buff that allows you to change the type of block but not the color. So I went ahead and changed it to clay so I can use it to make bricks for our build later. See, that looks so much better. It doesn't, I guess, pop would be the word. But I don't really want it to pop. I want it to look like it's an actual farm made of the same soil. Get this all placed back down. Alright, so at this point I'm going to speed it back up and let you guys watch what I do without, again, dead space. So it just dawned on me, I have my debug information on. I use this to help me identify blocks and their color whenever I go to another world. And as you can see, it says mud default base dug up. And then some lines down, you're going to see color. It says strong mustard. Not that button. Same with this. It says silty soil and strong mustard as well. The position If you ever want to know what your elevation is when you're looking for like gemstones and whatnot, the debug has a position, and that second set of numbers there where it says 64, that's your elevation. If you want to know how to turn it on and off, you'll go to your settings, go to your controls, I think. Network. Nope. I think it is controls. Where are you? There it is. Debug UI. I think you have to turn it on. I'm not really sure, but just hitting F1 will bring up the menu, and you have the option to go to debug information, and that'll bring up a window similar to this, and you just resize it as needed into the section that you're needing for what you're doing. I'm gonna actually go ahead and turn it off because I didn't mean for it to be on in the first place, and then we'll just get back to what we were doing. Okay, so we got everything plotted out. Obviously I'm missing some of the poles, but I have those being made at the moment. So I want to make a walkway right here. And that's what these two little pieces of sand are representing, is where I want to lay the brick at. And I'm opting for this metamorphic gray, oxidized gray brick. And we're going to use that to lay the footing, and to edge it to give it a more natural appeal, much like I did with the other build, I'm going to use the warm moss exotic foliage. So I'm going to dig up the sand. Ooh, glad I had something there, otherwise that would have been a very, very long drop. And I'm going to place 2 of them. I feel like that's a good even match from side to side. And we're gonna go ahead and do a couple more just to kind of show you guys what I'm doing with it. And then I'll probably do the rest of it towards the tree off camera while I go check on the rest of the beams for this. Rip these up. And we're just gonna lay these here so it has some grass coverage. I feel like that looks a lot better. Ooh, snow's melting. So I used B to get rid of the barrier, the plotting barrier, so that you guys can see what it looks like without all that. I think it looks pretty good. Alright. And also, these little guys I'm holding in my hand is the same color green that I used here. So I'm going to go around and just touch up where all the poles are located so they look nice. And I'll be back. Alright. So, as you can see, I put the walkway in and some more of the railing. I had an idea. What I was going to do is leave it open like this, and then I'm going to make some gleam signs using the same light sepia gleam that I used inside the tree to make some gleam signs and denote what side is what. I made the miniature ones that don't fit very well, so I'm gonna go gather up some more off camera and create the modular ones. They take up a lot more space, and if need be, I'll fill in the gap between the two poles and just layer it on top, but we'll see. So I did, however, get enough gleam to create lanterns, and I thought this might be something kind of cool. Put them like that, and then I'm going to use my stone chisel to kind of knock them down a little bit so they're not so big. I'm going to offset them back a little bit. Doesn't look too bad. Wish I could center it up a bit more, but looks good to me. Maybe take the bottom off. Oh, I think I need my titanium one, which I don't think is in my pockets. The titanium one will get rid of individual blocks, so when I pick that back up from my workshop area, I'll try it out. But for now, I think that they'll look really nice, so I'll go ahead and place them. And whittle them down as far as I can. And that should add some light to the area. And I also thought of doing them on top of these guys as well. Now it's going to be offset if I trim it down, but I feel like they're way too big as they are, so again, whittle it down a bit. Oh, that looks so bad. Yeah, not a fan. Gonna have to figure out a way to do lighting that doesn't look so bulky and strange. I may make posts like I did there. See how that looks. Let's see, I did 4 high, yeah. So we'll just stick that out. Put lantern below it. Yeah, I think that'll work. It's not the most elegant, but I think it gives the illusion that I want. Kind of rustic. Definitely gonna have to make more poles to do the other side of the farm. And to do the corner posts. But you get an idea of what I'm doing. Trim that up. Oof, all that snow. But I think it's looking really good. Something I also noticed I did not do was I did not till the dirt here, so we're going to grab the metal hand tiller and we're going to use that to till the soil. Now I noticed that it's got a universal UV mapping for tilling. I hope they change that later on to where you can change, depending on where you're standing, will determine which way the till goes. because I really would like it to be going this way. But I tried different stances. It doesn't make a difference. This is a fairly new patch, so there's a good possibility they didn't consider that as part of the decoration method. So I'm gonna give them time, see if maybe they fix it. It's not a deal breaker for me, it's just one of those annoyances. It eliminates the ability to kind of give a proper look if you're doing a design one way. I don't think it's wise to have to basically force people to build their farms only one direction or get it look right. But you know, I'm a player, not a developer, so I don't know how hard it is to actually fix that kind of problem. Alright. But yeah, I think it's looking kind of nice. Let's see. Nope, still snow. So basically I'm going to be giving it the exact same treatment on the other side. And before I jump off of here for the evening, I'm going to do the front entryway on camera. I'm going to speed it up, obviously, because I don't think you guys want to sit there and watch me do that in normal mode and be bored out of your gores. So I'll be right back. really like how the lanterns are looking as far as the amount of light given. Definitely want to try getting rid of that extra little tidbit. So, got most of the grass laid. Granted, it's not the tall grass. That happens when, and I'll show you right here. Alright, so I already laid 1 seed. That's 2. That's 3. So if you ever are doing any kind of landscaping for your base, 3 seeds to equal tall grass. Alright, and I've got the walkway laid out already. So what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to get the supplies to finish the fences. I'm going to get the supplies to finish the leaf growth around the walk paths, and get the supplies to make the different sign, the modular sign. I'm hoping it'll sit the way I want it to with some finagling, and the finagling I'll do on camera simply because I want you guys to see like how to kind of cheat the system. There's a couple of ways that you can kind of do a workaround so it gives it a nice clean look, and sometimes it just takes testing with it and understanding how the block or the textures behave with this neighboring block. So sometimes it's just a matter of goofing off with it. But yeah, so guess I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, we're back, and I should have everything I need to complete this. You can kind of see off to the distance I added some of the railing and a little bit of sand to figure out how much more I needed to make sure I grabbed enough raw wood to create the last bit. Also, the wheat is ready. Ooh. So that's looking really nice. Alright, I also chiseled down the lanterns right here. And I do like the single little block much better. And how I do that, I covered it a little bit before, but right hand, you see titanium precise square chisel. And I just knock off the last bit. Super easy to use. Gives a much nicer look in my opinion. And we're going to do that on all the posts, corner posts. So let's see if we can figure out this sign real fast before I speed it up as I finish off the fence work and whatnot. So what I want to try to do is get it to sit in the middle there. So I'm going to put these blocks out back, grab the modular sign. I made more than enough. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. It'd sit flush on that. So, to counteract that, and break that bad boy. Put this back down. I'm gonna grab more of the wood beams. Put that there. And that is so not where that's supposed to be. Let's try this again. There we go. Try that. There we go. So I'm just gonna use the modular and go across like that. And edit display text, do wheat crop. Nice and bold. Now, some of the options on the signs let you change the text, italic, bold, regular is fine. And then you can adjust the alignment, right, left, center. I like center. You can rotate the text too, so if you're doing like a vertical sign, it will turn and help with that. I don't know why you would do it upside down one, but there's that. Alright. And additional text down here that it shows you, it's little notes for like your buddies, so they know information back and forth, but it does not actually show up on the main sign. So let's say I'm leaving a note for the one. And see how it doesn't show up? But if he clicks... Oop! That was not what I wanted to do. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, fail. Alright, hang on a second. This is not going to be pretty. Find mud. Poop my way up there here. Get up into the block so that you're inside of the one that you don't want. And then use your remove beacon, and that'll remove the one that you're actively in. Shoot, fire. Can't believe I did that. Sometimes having your beacons in your hand is bad. Like you just saw. But anyway, so yeah. So you just press E and then he can see that I left him a note, but we don't actually need that note. He more likely will never ever mess with my farms unless he's just picking on me that day. Alright. Put that one up there. Rinse and repeat. And this one we're gonna make the note wheat seeds. Alright. So now we know what each of these fields are used for. And we can get moving along. So let me just speed this bad boy back up. looks like I didn't have enough wood, so I'm gonna have to go off camera and go harvest some more wood to create some more of these beams so we can finish this up properly. And yeah, be right back. Alright, so we're back, and I've got more poles and beams. Hopefully enough to finish this off. But before I speed everything back up, I'm going to go over this real fast. So the kernut plants, I did a test run over here, obviously. And this one's more for crop yield, and then I'll do seed yield over there. But really, I should be doing it the other way around, considering how that one's set up. But, you know, tomato, tomato. So this one requires, I guess I could just pull up the inventory. So underneath the tab, it shows that it needs sunlight, obviously. It grows near water and amber, so that explains why I have water there. Ooh. And then compact iron to increase the crop growth. Right there. Oh, compact copper. Copper. Not iron. Copper. And then to increase seed growth, I need iron. And it needs to be in tilled soil to get an extra bump. So since I didn't really have any other options, I went ahead and did tilled soil for even the crop-based one, which doesn't really hurt it. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do water and then copper here, 2 rows of this, another row of water, and then, you know, just rinse and repeat. And on the other set of plots, I'm going to be doing iron where the copper is located. So it should give me a pretty good growth. Now, seeing as I have the orange instead of the mud on this side, I will be switching all that out for the mud color that I have over there. That way it looks cohesive. And that's going to take me going and digging more of that up because I plan ahead like a smart person. Anyway, so let's get going.
Someone like you, someone like you. I want you to know me, 'cause I know then you'll see we can be true, we can be true. I want you to see what I see in us. Something so real, something so real. I want you to see that this is a love that we both feel, that we both feel. And how will we ever know if the love will ever grow without trying, without trying? And how will we ever see if we are meant to be? It's terrifying, it's terrifying. It's a losing game, it's a losing game. But this time it's more than another love war. This ain't the same, this ain't the same. They say love heals all, it makes it all alright. In time, in time. My heart still feels the breaking, but you make my world so bright. Feels so right, it feels so right. And how will we ever feel that what we've got is real? There's no denying, there's no denying. And how will we ever see if we are meant to be? It's terrifying, it's terrifying. And how will we ever know if the love will ever grow without trying, without trying? And how will we ever see if we are meant to be? It's terrifying, it's terrifying. That we're meant to be. We're meant to be. That we're meant to be. We're meant to be.
Alright, so we got all this sorted out. And I'm sure you guys saw me stop for a few seconds and kind of like look these over. So this one's giving 195% crop yield. And I was testing to see if I could kind of hide the copper a little bit. And this one was only giving 195. And I think when I looked at the seeds, Gleam Light helps it grow, along with sunlight, as I get all tongue-tied. Alright, so I'm thinking part of it has to do with the proximity that it is to the Gleam Lanterns. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that might be what it is. So obviously I need more water to fill in these, and I'm just going to go over there to the river. Ooh, it's nice to see this without all the barriers. I'm going to go over here to the river and use my water breaker and get some more water for this. And I'm going to pull this up and put down the proper color, since now I know I'll be able to half block these. And I ran out of poles, so I need to make a few more of those. I thought I was done, but yeah, I need what, 5 more pieces? That's not too bad. I should have enough wood to finish that off. Yeah, we're almost done. It's pretty epic in my opinion. So, I guess I'll be back when I'm completed with all this and we'll wrap this up. Alright, so before the snow actually gets bad, this is what it looks like at night. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And you notice I added some things here. Just a little life in the more barren locations. And some of this I'll do on camera so you can kind of see how I embellish. But it isn't going to be excessive. Mainly because I'm really eager to get this edited and start moving on to the underground portion. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of put extra grass where it would be hard for someone who doesn't have like a weed eater to get to. So like around posts, around the edges, the roots of the trees, things like that, where it makes sense. I'm not trying to make like a full-on wheat field or anything. That's what the farm's for. How I did these, just stacked 2, then 1, then I did 1 more on the end, and I did a copper chisel right at the corner, so it gives an angle. Nice taper off. I'm gonna do it on this side as well. And as you could peek, you can see I made a little planter box. Now this is 1 solid block. I used the stone chisel to remove the top layer, so it'd be 2 hits, and then I used the titanium, which removes a single block portion, and remove this little edge here, so it gives it a rustic look. And I made a little bit of plant life there. There's various decorative plants that you can get throughout the different worlds, so I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled for plants that I feel like will be really good little embellishment pieces over time, and to slowly add to it. I'm in no hurry for that portion of it. Devil is in the details, but it's not that crucial. So do a little bit of embellishment here, and then I'll just move along. I want to thank you for watching. I hope you guys like it enough to subscribe and continue viewing this series as long as I'm occupying myself with it. Those who have watched my mission statement know that I tend to kind of float between games, whatever happens to be floating my boat at the time. So keep a lookout for some of my other different gameplays. Right now I've got the Division 2 going pretty hardcore. My time at Portia is kind of on the back burner at the moment. I'm looking at potentially doing a Let's Play on Green Hell. It's a game that I already own and have been kind of watching it and doing some of the testing as new portions come out. So I may be poking that. No promises. It just depends on how I'm feeling. But yeah. So I hope you're having a good time, and I'll see you again soon.